Hi friends, welcome to today's episode. Now, today's episode, I know it has been long since I posted, but on today's episode, nataka tuongelee something that is very controversial right now, in a trend all over X, Twitter, even on radio station, TV stations. Everyone is talking about it all over Kenya. The story of Margaret Nduta. Well, Margaret Nduta happens to come from the same constituency I come from, Kiharo, Murang'a County, and she has a twin sister. So this is the twin sister is the one who mwenye ametuambia history sasa. What happened is in 2022 Margaret Nduta alipata greener pastures, allegedly greener pastures abroad, and she found the money kwa sababu lazima utafutie agent pesa ndio aweze kubook your tickets, aweze kuku assure of your job etc. So she found the job, she found the agent na akapata kazi. And now on the D-Day alikuwa na travel with another lady. On that day hawakutoka JKIA. They didn't, she was traveling to Vietnam. Hakutoka JKIA, alikuwa na when wali on the D-Day ya kutravel aliambiwa they are first going to go to Ethiopia and then go to Vietnam. So they went to Ethiopia by bus with her friend, the two of them, na wakafika Ethiopia well, and wakakaa huko for 10 days. So for these 10 days, they walikuwa wanatrainiwa how to be good workers abroad. You see the same way our Minister for Foreign Affairs ametengeneza nyumba in Mombasa, yenye kama unataka kwenda kuwa house help in Saudi Arabia, utaenda Mombasa kwanza ufunzwe how to be a good housewife, house help uko Saudi Arabia. It is the same thing. Wao wako na station Ethiopia. So she didn't see any trouble. Yeye aka, you know, ukiwa kwa hiyo situation, one of those people wenye for those people wenye wanaenda abroad to be workers, it's first of all, it's not a good job unless really you are qualified for that job. If it is a job that doesn't require any qualification, you need to be trained in a random place like Ethiopia, then for this job, you don't have the much say in whatever happens. You know, nani akikwambia, agent akikwambia turn right, you just turn right. Agent akikwambia turn left, you just turn left. Akikwambia kuja Ethiopia, you won't question why. Kwa sababu huu msee inakani kama niye, they hold your future in their hands. Sawa. So now they went to Ethiopia and they got trained, and at some point wakaseparate na huyo msichana mwingine. And then after that, huyu msichana now when she was almost boarding akienda Vietnam sasa, the agent akamwambia, I feel ama naona bagi yako ni ndogo sana, let me get you a suitcase. So akaletwa suitcase na akaulizwa, unaona kama hiyo suitcase iko sawa? Unaona kama iko na kitu ndani? And she said, hapana, like iko sawa, iko empty, it's a new suitcase. So akaweka vitu zake hapo, boarded the airplane na akaenda. Now, according to the story yenye tumeambiwa na sister yake, when she was boarding, vile walimuexchangeia hiyo, not kumexchangeia, vile walimwambia anaweza transfer her things to this new suitcase, they also sent her some money. This money, it was for accommodation, for where they were stopping over, and to book the next flight to Vietnam now. And she was okay with it, akatumwa $1,300. So yeye akabook, akaenda tu, she went okay, wakafika the place, they were doing a stopover. Mind you, the bag inatoka Ethiopia, iko imeenda Vietnam directly. Sawa sawa. So it has passed Ethiopian airline. Imeshapita Ethiopia. So imeshapita Ethiopian airline. So now, what has happened to my lighting? I don't know, my lighting is just behaving. So now, vile amefika Vietnam, she's with her bag ipitie scan, and she was found to have 2 kgs of cocaine. Now, that is hiyo ndo makosa ili happen kwa sababu in Vietnam, ukipatikana trafficking drugs, it doesn't matter what quantity. It's like in China, ikifika 1 kg, executed. Same to Vietnam. If you're found to be trafficking drugs and hakuna hata anything to say, as long as you're the one who has been found. Those Asian countries, they have very strict laws. Na wana stick by those laws. So yeye akapatikana, she had the 2 kgs, and kwa video you can see how bad she was feeling. She didn't talk kwa hiyo video yenye now evidence yenye she is the one who had the 2 kgs of cocaine. Hiyo time yenye bag yake ilitoanishwa sasa na akaonyeshwa ndio hii mali yako. Alikuwa anajifunika na kofia and alikuwa tu amenyamaza, and she didn't look like someone who was crying or very scared. She just looked like someone who is ashamed. Sawa? So then now she got arrested in 2022 immediately, ameland huko Vietnam, and she has been in jail and was to be executed on 16/03/2025. Now, Kenyans, we didn't know about her story, neither did her family. Her family had never heard from her ever since she left, and they found it weird. I'm like, why would she not contact us? But ile tu hope, like maybe it's had her phone ama something happened to her, but she's going to text. You know, ukiwa ameenda na nyinyi mmebaki Kenya, there's literally nothing you can do. You're just being powerless. So for them hawakuwa wameona anything. So kwa mtandao ndio ikapostiwa that someone a Kenyan national in Vietnam atakuwa executed now on Sunday 16th because of drug trafficking. Ndio wakaona, ndio wenye familia yake wakaona, this is our Nduta. So they went and told the family members, ilikuwa one of their cousins. So akaambia family members, the family members wakaambia the grandmother yake kusikia hiyo story. Yeah, she died. Alipata so much shock. She died instantly, and she was buried last week on Friday. So now after the family realized that, now they started doing the appeals, but they didn't know how to go about it. So they came online with that story, and TikTok people picked it up, and that lady akaenda akasikia story ya huwa msichana, akaleta sister yake online. The sister narrated the story of what happened. But now kwa hii situation, people have 2 opinions. One opinion is she's a drug trafficker. The other opinion is she was framed. Now, this is my take on the story. So for my take is, she's not 100% innocent, but at the same time, she's not 100% guilty. This is my reason. When Sistake ama those members who came to tell us her story, waliulizwa who is the agent, like who agent alikuwa amempatia hii kazi, who is ni nani, who agent ni mgani, how can we find them, and walikuwa wameagree nini, how come she went to Ethiopia first, why didn't they leave to via JKIA? Ndio wakasema hapana, waliambiwa lazima waende Ethiopia ndio waweze kutrainiwa. But akaambiwa okay, who is the agent? Anasema jamaa mwingine anaitwa, I don't know if they said Kamau or something. Jamaa mwingine anaitwa, let's call him X. Jamaa mwingine anaitwa X. Then anaulizwa, how can we reach this person? Like, because the agent ni ako at a very good position to tell us msichana alijipata aje na hizi drugs, kwa sababu the family says she's a good girl, she has never been arrested at one point, she's a good citizen, so they don't see how she would end up with drugs. So inconsistent number 1 ni where is the agent, na hata kama agent they don't remember the name, kwa sababu inaweza kuwa I'm the one, I don't tell my sister everything. So inaweza kuwa ni mimi niko na huyo agent, I just told my family, by the way you guys, I found an agent, amenitafutia kazi, ameniambia nimlipe 300,000 and it's okay. Inaweza kuwa my sisters don't know, but I know, which is fine. It is fine. Now another inconsistent is alikubali aje hii bag, alikubali hii suitcase yenye iko na vitu, and mbona kwa hiyo video anakaa ni kama she's not crying, she's not, the way someone ukiweza patikana na something that is not your fault in another country na ulikuwa unaenda kazi to that country, but umefika tu hivi kwa airport umeshakuwa arrested, you see the way your mind would be so disoriented. She looked like she was very ashamed. That is the word. I don't know if she was ashamed, ameshikwa, because if nimeshikwa and I have drugs and they're not mine and people are taking photos, I think I would keep saying, if they're not mine, they're not mine. I think I would be crying. But people react differently, so sitaki kumjudge purely because of that. Now, on the other side, she could be innocent kwa sababu when this kind of people, watu wanaendanga Saudi Arabia, wanaenda Lebanon, wanaenda majuu, yani kutafutiwa Qatar, those not so good jobs zenye mnalipwa ati 40,000, 30,000. You see those kind of jobs. Huo ni msi amefika mwisho in their own country, like ametry the best in this country, ameshindwa, na yeye ameona 40,000 in another country is better than kukaa hapa kwetu with nothing to do. So it is, watu wanakuanga very desperate. Na ndio we were having this conversation with my friends and tukasema the other day Jesus Winners ministry, the minister of foreign affairs alikuwa amesema amepata job Saudi Arabia, so if you want this job unaweza enda kuregister in that church, and so many Kenyans came in thousand, like so many Kenyans showed up kupata to those jobs. So you can imagine how many desperate Kenyans tuko nao huku nje, so many desperate people. So huyu mtu anaweza kuwa naambiwa na agent, weenda tu, ukifika huko the same way umepita hapa Ethiopia, kwa sababu she passed Ethiopia, alipita airport ya Ethiopia, alipita Ethiopian airline without them finding out, but vile amefika Vietnam ndio wamepata. So maybe alikuwa ameambiwa the same way umepita Ethiopia is the same way utapita Vietnam, tuko na mtu huko. She either saw that her suitcase, walikuwa wanasema suitcase yake ilikuwa imeraviwa na ikashonwa, either aliona akaambiwa it is fine, we pita tu. Number two, these people come from a very poor background. Inaweza kuwa they don't know procedures za airport. And mtu kama mimi, I've never traveled. Nishaifika airport but sijai travel, you see. So I don't clearly know the procedures za kuenda. But nimeziona kwa TV, kwa movies, kwa nini za watu, YouTube videos, etc. But she has really come from a very, very humble background. Yenye unaweza pata actually they don't have a TV insight. Ati ataweza kujua you're not supposed to take luggage from someone you don't know, ama truly ukipatikana na drugs in another place, this can happen. So inaweza kuwa ni ignorance ama truly she didn't know, like lack of knowledge. Na ni ile umeambiwa na agent na amekutafutia kazi, so akikwambia just go, you will just go with it. So these people are really desperate for work. Ama the second option is she was framed kabisa without her knowledge. Like yeye kwa sababu sisaki anasema ati when she was asked, angalia kama hiyo suitcase iko na kitu, wakasema truly haina. Huo msichana akasema truly yeye ametafuta ameona haina anything, and that's why akakubali kuweka vitu zake hapo. So now people are, the worst thing about this whole thing ni watu wameturn to be a Kikuyu thing, like she's a Kenyan in foreign land. Lakini kuna this tribal people kina Gaucho wamesha i-convert to be a tribal thing. Like nyinyi wa Kikuyu muli celebrate wakati Raila alishinda huko Addis Ababa AU, now go ask the Djibouti guy. Djibouti guy anahusiana aje na a Kenyan issue, a Kenyan diplomatic issue? That is like so lame and so immature. Hata sitaki kusema the exact word because that is such a bad word, sitaki kuisema, but people have turned it to be she knew what she was saying, but in reality we haven't had her side of the story. Before you judge someone, before you judge anything, hear both sides. That's why hata kwa court huyu anasikizwa na ule mwingine anasikizwa for a judge to make sound mind. Lakini watu wameshaanza crucify msichana wetu. Regardless, she's a Kenyan who was going to look for work somewhere else because the government has made Kenyan economy so bad hadi hangepata kazi huku. You see, so it is not entirely her fault. She could be in the know, like maybe alikuwa anajua there's something, but I don't think someone who knew has the consequences angebeba hizo vitu. So that's why I'm giving her a benefit of doubt, because I need to hear her side of the story, because kwa hizi stories zote we haven't had her side of the story, like yeye mwenyewe hajapeana account, like event account on her own. So, yani yeye mwenyewe, tusiambiwe na second party ama third party, yeye mwenyewe akuja tuambie what happened. We haven't heard that yet. So I'm yet to, so for me, we went to on TikTok on Saturday, we prayed so much, we prayed for her, and she was to be executed on Monday at 8:30 a.m. And unaona, alafu hii kitu ilifika online on Friday, and she was to be executed on Sunday. So we only had Friday to mobilize ourselves, do everything we can to make sure that we make so much noise due to attract attention. We did. It is a good thing we did. Now everyone is talking about it. And actually, the government of Vietnam was called. Now wakasema it's okay, they're not going to execute her. Accept her appeal, ndio wasikize both sides of the story. But my wish to them is, my wish to everyone is, do not judge this girl. She is a Kenyan, she's ours. She's just a girl. She's just a girl who was going to look for work. She doesn't deserve to die in another country without having seen her family one last time. I don't know if she has a child, but I don't think she has a child. She doesn't deserve to die before aone watu wao. She doesn't even deserve to die in a foreign country. Let her come. If she's to be killed, at least akuje kwao aone watu wao, and then maybe she can be killed after. But it doesn't matter which tribe she comes from. It doesn't matter which tribe she comes from. But people have turned this to be a tribal thing. Like, that is so frustrating. And people are saying that countries have laws, we must respect other countries' laws. Come on, guys, stop being hypocrites and stop being all perfect. You haven't heard her side of the story. To me, I am not on anyone's side. Actually, when I wrote on my X account, I said, let the government look into her case again. Like, I don't know if she was framed. I don't know if she did it on purpose, but let them look into her case again. Like, wasifanye, let them look into the case again. That's all we are asking. Waangalie evidence tena na wasikize her side of the story and actually investigate the matter. That is all we are asking. I don't want her to be released if she's guilty, because cocaine imeua watu wengi sana, ama it's doing so much damage in the coast region hapa Kenya, in the coast region. So but we see, like, guys, when you go to the club, you can see these people sniffing it all over, you know. But anyway, so that is my sense. So those are my sense. I don't think she's guilty, but I don't think she's 100% innocent. So she needs to be investigated. If she's 100% innocent, may our Nduta come to us. May God see her through. I think our prayers worked. I actually think our prayers worked, because there's no such point. Unaweza kuwa you are to be hanged on Friday at 8:30 a.m. and then the whole day you're not being hanged. The government take action around 4 p.m. and still you're not hanged. So I believe our prayers worked. And speaking of tribalism, it is such a sad state of affair that we went to the streets. Rex Masai was killed, but Rex Masai was not advocating for a Masai president. He was advocating for good governance. Yeye alikuwa anashangaa ile pesa yenye mnataka kuchukua. You want to tax us so much, but we can't see what you have done with that money. You want to take everything from us, but expect us not to ask where you have taken our money. So when we went to the street last year, it was all about good governance and accountability. Like, show us where you have taken our money. Don't just come and ask us tax without telling us how much money, how you have spent our money. But now politicians realize that when we came out and we said we are tribeless and we are partyless, that is the biggest threat to them. You have no party, so they can't buy the leader of that party. And you're tribeless, so they can't actually use tribe to kuwapinganisha, like uchukie ule wewe uchukie ule. So their agenda after that, after they de-escalate your situation, ilikuwa like, how can we make sure they are in parties? Ndio ukaona Morara Kebaso, ndio ukaona Kaska Samuel Na ndio wakaujiuliza, how can we make sure that these people will care about their tribe? So they flocked people, they paid bloggers and watu wenye wako reckless to just talk about tribe. And the only two tribes wenye wanafight ni kina nani? Luos versus Kikuyus. Why? We have 42 tribes in this country. These are not the only two tribes. Atigema versus Luo. Because I promise you, the Kalenjins do not care whether the next president is going to be Kalenjin, kwa sababu vile wanakapitia sahi. No one can tell, hakuna mtu angewawarn. The other people ni watu wa Western, the Kisii, the Luya, they don't care. Actually, to them, sasa ndio they're forming themselves. Sasa ndio wanajiita kamkutano. But Kikuyus tukijita kamkutano, we are being tribal. And the people wenye wanaendeleza hii kitu, because the people wenye wali come up na hizi tribal walls was of course ilikuwa kupinga nani? Mount Kenya region, kwa sababu huko ndio votes ziko, but the moment wameonyesha the rest of the country that this tribe ndio iko na shida, then they hoped, ama they are still hoping that the rest of the country itakuwa like, but each tribe inajifanya as who, but unfortunately the rest of the tribes they are nobody. The only people wenye wamebaki wakitetea this government ni those bloggers na Luos wenye nadhani mtu wao wako mtu wao wako kwa government. But mi nataka kuambia you people, Luos especially, you see Luyas wamerealize their mistake, that they have the votes, ama let's call them watu wa Western, Luyas and Kisii. Wamerealize they have the votes but they are never in government. Na wakarealize actually sisi tunafuatanga baba, but akiingia kwa government none of us anaingishangwa. So to them wamesha realize we are going to go and have a family gathering. Now that's what Natembea is doing right now. Natembea is building that block as a whole. Maybe naweza waambia mwende muangalie X account ya George Natembea commentary, but like a parody account ya George Natembea. He post every kai. Mimi ni Mkikuyu wase. Anapostingi all the rallies zenye Natembea anafanya, and that man, by the time Luos wanamalizana kudeal na Kikuyus imaginary dealing, wataenda Western wapate vitu zilisha change. And the only people wenye wataachwa nyuma kwa history yote ni Luos, kwa sababu to them baba is always right. But wafikirie who can we front the next time, ndio to make sure tutaingia we will be on the table the next time round. Now we will not be just on the table. We are going to make moves on that table. You see, one thing about Kikuyus, there is no kingpin in Kikuyu. There is no kingpin in Kikuyu. The people are the kingpin. Like wakiamua huyu msee ni yeye tunamsupport, wataamua huyu msee ni yeye tunamsupport. But si huyo mtu akuja seme support me guys. If you are very keen, unaweza ona in 2013 Uhuru got so many votes, 8 million votes. In 2017 alipata 7.2. So he lost 1 point something million. Hizi zote alipoteza Central. In 2017 alipoteza Mount Kenya, let's not say Central. Alipoteza Mount Kenya because Mount Kenya people, hao ni watu wa business. Na already ikifika hiyo watu walikuwa wameshaanza kusikia mzee hautupeleki vibaya. And then now COVID ikakuja na ikagonga sasa watu kabisa. Now ungeambia mtu wa Mount Kenya Uhuru anakuuliza as who? Not because they don't like the guy, not because the guy did not perform. The guy aliharibu economy. They don't care about roads. They don't care about wewe umefanyia nini economy yetu. And the best thing about the economy, it speaks for itself. You don't need to come and tell me the economy is doing good. I should feel the economy is doing good. So yeah, that's what, na hapo ndio baba akalose, kwa sababu baba alijoin Uhuru. Now Wakikuyu wakaona unajoin aje msee mwenye tunakwambia already we don't like this guy. The same way amefanya sahi. Baba amejoin Ruto when he's very unpopular, like very unpopular, hadi kwao, hadi Sugoi kwao, no one wants the guy, but baba ameona it is the right thing to do. But now Wakikuyu wakisema hapana, sisi we don't like this, wataambiwa aje you're being tribal, but in reality to them economy is supreme, money in their pocket is supreme. So wewe, if you always choose to join the oppressor ama the person who is making the economy go down, then that's your choice. You just go with him. It's nothing tribal. Actually, Kikuyus, they're the least tribal people. Utaenda Turkana na utapata Mkikuyu. Utaenda Eldoret. Go to Eldoret town. Shout, we mwega. You will, so many people watakujibu. So many people. Ukienda Isiolo, kuna Wakikuyu. Ukienda Coast, kuna Wakikuyu. Kuja Nairobi wamejaa Wakikuyu. And they live well with each other. To them, money is everything. Yani, money is above everything in Kikuyu. So as long as they have money in their pocket, they're not going to complain. They wouldn't care who is the president. That's why walikuwa wamepea Ruto, kwa sababu to them, as long as you have promised to make our economy better, that is all. That as long as I will have money in my pocket, that is all. Where we failed as Kikuyus ni penye hatukuuliza, sawa basi, you're saying you're going to reduce this cost of living. How? We didn't ask the how. Unasema utajenga affordable housing. How? Unasema utaleta universal healthcare. How? We didn't ask the how. The policies, we didn't ask the policies they're going to put. Si tulisikiza tu manifestos. So it is a lesson that next time tukiambiwa I'm going to lower the cost of living, tuambie which policies utaweka. Let's gauge you with those policies. Oh my dear Lord. It is not a tribal war. And Gaucho should be warned that these politicians, they know what they're doing. In 2007, Joshua Arap Sang alitumika the same way. Na mliona tu kidogo hivi akuwe jailed for life by ICC. The same thing they're doing with Gaucho right now. Gaucho atachocha, and if I know it's not going to happen, but if kukuwe na any tribal clashes, it's not going to happen, but if kukuwe nazo, he's going to be named. Yeye ataambiwa he was on the forefront akisema this, and then kutakuwa na so many evidences, atashindwa kujitoa. And you know what the president is doing? Yeye anakuja anasema let's remain peaceful. He will make sure hata incriminate himself. He's not going to incriminate himself verbally. So Gaucho, we endelea kutumika, and also those Kikuyu people wenye wanamjibu, if you're a Kikuyu and unaendeleza hizi tribal politics zenye wakisema hivi unajibu for what? Akisema achana na ye, forget him kabisa. Forget him. Hata nyinyi endeni mfanye watu wa Western wanafanya. Endeni mrecruit. Go sit somewhere, discuss your fate, discuss how you're going to come up. Yani just know your worth. Jueni mko na numbers na jueni hakuna mtu atawatisha. But at the same time, do not spread hatred to other tribes. Gaucho, what he's doing, hata haambi watu wao wakuje together. Yeye ana spread to hatred to Kikuyus. Such a primitive mind. Anyway, guys, those are my 2 cents for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Please subscribe down below so that I can be able to do this very often. Please subscribe if you liked my content, and forward to someone you think would also like my content too. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Mwah.